Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 186. We're going to finish up this Atlanta 450 talk, get this out of the way. We got Daytona here, but we are running just a tiny bit behind, so we are just going to finish this up for you guys. I'm Adam, here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Better late than never. So here we are.
Yep, and it's definitely late, but that's cool. We're going to get back on track, but this Atlanta race was pretty awesome. We got lots of stuff to talk about, and what do you say? We just jump right in this and just give everyone a little recap of what happened?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm super excited about this race. It was really good. We were there, which is one of the reasons we were behind. And also, as we mentioned in our last podcast, stadium was awesome. The food was great. It was cheap. And just overall, it was a great experience, and we can't wait to recap it with you guys. I wanted to start, though, by saying that on the qualifying times, the crash that not Adam Enticknap, but Tyler Enticknap had a big crash right in front of us too in that rhythm section, and he did make it all right, but it was hard, man. I was a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was able to walk away from that somehow, or limp away, I guess you could say. But yeah, he was definitely one of the victims of this track. We also, I think you were following Joey Savacci on our live stream, and then you just kept going, but he actually crashed in that rhythm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of it because I know somebody contacted me and said, "Hey man, who was the one that fell?" So there was something there until, I like you said, I followed the track instead of looking, because I was just looking at the, just following the rhythm. But Joe Savacci also had a pretty big crash in this qualifying.
Yeah, indeed. So Eli Tomac had the fastest time. Marvin Musquin was second fastest. Dean Wilson was third. Cooper Webb fourth. Your champion right there. Series leader, red plate holder, RPC in fourth. Joey Savacci, as we talked about just now, he was in fifth. Zach Osborne had the sixth fastest time, and then Ken Roczen, seventh fastest time. So it just seemed a little off all weekend, but seventh fastest there. Blake Baggett, eighth. Cole Seeley, ninth fastest time. Justin Hill, he rounded out your top 10 of the fastest.
But as we have learned throughout this whole year, the qualifying times are nothing. So it's just a gate pick.
Exactly. Just a gate pick for the heats. So let's jump into these heats and talk about some of this madness that went down in these awesome heat races.
Yeah, definitely, man. On this 450 Heat 1, there's a lot of great names, and one of those names was Michael Alessi, who was making his comeback, his debut after 2 years being away from the Supercross scene. But it was Blake Baggett who had a great hole shot, who was followed by the KTM guys, Marvin Musquin and Cooper Webb. Justin Hill was a little close there, and then Michael Alessi, who, we know he's great for starts. He had a pretty good start there as well. And Bowers also had a good start right there with those guys. Unfortunately, though, Zach Osborne, Adam Eticknap, and Alex Ray had a little bit of problems in the start. And
they did not have a good start.
Yeah, they didn't have a good start. They went down. All three of them went down, and it all happened because Osborne clipped. He got pushed by Musquin and clipped Cooper Webb, and became the Red Bull KTM sandwich, if you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, I would say I take back what I said. They did have pretty good starts because they were all right there. And whenever Osborne's bike went down, Alex Ray looked like he made a split-second decision that he was going to run over the bike. Yeah. And then when he did that, he just went flying and then just, took his teammate out there with him, Enticknap. So they were up there, and I think that was unfortunate that they were up there because they ended up just driving right into all the madness.
Exactly. But meanwhile, the KTM guys were up front, meaning Baggett, Musquin, and Webb. Musquin and Webb were having a nice little battle for second place, and Bowers had a solid fourth spot. And Lesher, I don't know who this Lesher guy is, but he was sitting in fifth. Good for him. He looked pretty good with all these big guys, around. So
Yeah, he had a great night. Super good night.
yeah. Question: was Justin Bogle getting lapped when he collided with Cole Martinez?
No, Cole Martinez just totally took him out right there before the whoops.
And that was an awesome move by Cole.
Yeah, very aggressive, and you just do what you got to do sometimes, and he did it.
They're absolutely right. Michael Alessi, who ran into some problems, he lost a couple of positions to first to Hill, and then Osborne, who managed to make it all the way back and put himself in a qualifying position. Coming into the end of this heat, though, Marvin Musquin, who was looking really good, he was closing the gap on Blake Baggett. He ends up getting passed by Cooper Webb. And
yes, this was my favorite because Ricky Carmichael, he's like, Marvin Musquin just set the fastest lap, and before he even completes the word lap, it's like Cooper Webb passed him.
Yeah. No, you're right. Cooper Webb passed him, and then they had a nice little battle, like literally. It was closer than Webb and Roczen a couple of weeks ago in that main event.
Yeah, and it was just a good race for Cooper Webb, even though they said Marvin Musquin had the fastest lap. Cooper Webb ended up passing him on the last lap, and they both finished right there behind Blake Baggett going over the finish line.
Yeah, they were closing. That's what I was saying. Like, Musquin, he looked good as he was closing, and then Webb just came out of nowhere and passed him, and they battle all the way to that checker flag. So it was Blake Baggett with the win, followed by Cooper Webb, Marvin Musquin.
Yep, Tyler Bowers got 4th, Justin Hill got 5th, Zach Osborne got 6th, Jared Lesher got 7th, Cole Martinez got 8th, Ben LeMay got 9th, and Mike Alessi just missing it with that 10th place in the heat race. So he's going to the LCQ with AJ Catanzaro. Alex Ray was able to get up to 12th, Ronnie Stewart, Bubba Pauly, all them going to the LCQ, and Justin Bogle, who ended up getting 20th that race. So not the greatest move for him when Martinez took him out for that 6th place, but... yeah, he's going to the LCQ. Let's move on to heat number 2.
That's right. In heat number 2, obviously I mentioned there was a lot of good names in that first one. There's a lot of good names in this one as well. When Dean Wilson,
still stacked.
Yeah, Dean Wilson pushed a whole shot last second, like barely. But it was close.
Yeah, he edged out Eli Tomac. Eli Tomac was right there too, and Dean Wilson was able to just kind of nudge him enough outside, and then. He went over the line first, but
that's
Brayton
what I'm
had
saying,
that nice cut-in move too that put him right up there. But on the way inside, Cole Seeley just jumped his way into first, coming down that first rhythm section.
Exactly. So Dino stole the whole shot last second, but it was Cole Seeley who came out on top, and he gets the first place right away. Like you said, Justin
Cole Seeley.
Yeah, your boy. By the way, you mentioned Justin Brayton, who almost had a huge mistake right after that start when I want to say he I don't know, was that like a boner air type thing, or he did something that could have cost him a lot, but he still managed to save it and stayed in 3rd place, followed by the legend Chad Reed and Eli Tomac, who struggled a little bit to get by Reed on this one. Behind those two guys, it was Joey Savacci and Ken Roczen, who were battling as well for 6th place.
Yeah, it was crazy that Ken Roczen was that far back, just battling for those after that, not even in the top 5 of this heat race. But legend Chad Reed, man, he had the most legend move ever. He was just riding the widest bike, taking the perfect lines every corner, would not let Tomac and Savacci. He held them off the entire race.
Oh yeah, no. He played it. He played like a veteran. He played his move. He knows that maybe he's not as fast as those guys, but he can definitely play defense, and he did. He definitely did, because Eli Tomac, he suffered to get by him. And actually, he didn't even go by him, because it was Joey Savacci with less than 2 minutes to go, comes out of nowhere and does what Eli Tomac was trying to do the whole race in less than half a lap. He gets them both. And I don't know what that means for Eli, if that was a slap in the face or not, because Joey Savacci came from passing Roczen to passing these two out of nowhere and then kind of checking out on them.
Yeah, he jumped right past them in the whoops, because Chad Reed was still skimming him, and Savacci's just like had enough. He just jumped right through it, jumped right past him.
Yeah.
And then in that next sand section right there, Chad Reed took out Eli Tomac. He just took him out.
Yeah,
And,
they both made a little bubble, and like like we've been saying, like Reed was just playing defense, and he just kind of cut Eli Tomac. Eli Tomac trying to cut him in the inside, and Reed just kind of slowed him down a little bit more, and Eli clipped the tire and fell back all the way to 8th place, but still managed to stay in and make it to the main.
Yep, and then Plessinger and Roxon were right there, and Roxon was like, 7th place or something?
Yeah.
Like with 2 laps to go. It's just not the greatest move for him, but yeah, that's pretty much how they finished this race, just like that. Cole Seeley won it. Dean Wilson got 2nd. Justin Brayton got 3rd. Joey Savacci got 4th. Aaron Plessinger got 5th. Chad Reed, legend Chad Reed, my bad, he got 6th. Ken Roxon got 7th. Eli Tomac was able to salvage 8th. Kyle Chisholm getting that final transfer position, 9th place. And going to the LCQ out of this one, Ryan Brees, Cedric Subaris, Scott Champion, Carlin Gardner, some big names. So they're all going to the LCQ.
Yeah, a lot of things happening in this heat. It was a really, really good one. I actually enjoyed it a lot. But let's go to this LCQ. Not a lot to talk about on this one. The only thing... The only thing I wanted to say, and I want to ask you what you think. Who had the whole shot? Was it Bogle or was it Subaris?
It looked like Subaris got the whole shot.
That's what I thought
I'm pretty sure
too.
Subaris got it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It looked very close. It was very similar to Dean Wilson. Like he just kind of snuck in at the end and took it from him. But Bogle was... he passed him right away, and he just kind of checked up front, and that's how those guys ran.
Whenever we were watching the race from Atlanta, it looked like, from where we were at, it looked like Bogle got the whole shot. But whenever you saw it on TV, it was like, Subaris definitely had it. Yeah,
it was a close one for sure. And that's pretty much all that happened in this race.
Like they didn't move positions at all. After Bogle jumped out front, it was just Bogle, Subaris, Alex Ray, Mike Alessi, and they pulled, they had a pretty big gap on 5th place too.
Yeah. Who was, I believe it was Breeze.
Got champion. Ronnie Stewart
was the one right there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much how that ended. And good for Mike Alessi. He made it to the main. And
barely.
I mean, he made it. That's all that matters. And
I was surprised he didn't even whole shot the LCQ. Like I thought he would for sure pull a whole shot, but we didn't get to see. We did not see a Mike Alessi whole shot.
Well, spoiler alert: we did not see a Mike Alessi whole shot the whole night. So let's jump into this main event.
Yeah, let's jump into this main event. We had Cooper Webb with the whole shot, Marvin Musquin, Blake Baggett right behind him, or the 3 KTM guys up front, and they pretty much just checked out. And Webb, whenever you see Webb out front, it's just like, it's over. But it really wasn't that way because they ran pretty close throughout this race. Like, I think the first whole half of this race, Marvin Musquin and Blake Baggett were like only 1 second behind him. But behind him up there was like Brayton. Plessinger was actually in 4th whenever they came across the finish line for that first lap.
Yep.
Ken Roxon was in 6th. Bowers 7th. Hill 8th. Wilson 9th. Chad Reed 10th. Joey Savacci 11th. Cedric Subaris 12th, and then finally Eli Tomac in 13th place when they came across the finish line on that first lap. Yeah, and Zach Osborne all the way back in 20th.
Yeah, very bad luck for Eli Tomac in this race.
Yeah, Marvin Musquin, he actually got really close to Cooper Webb and looked like he was going faster than him, and he was going to make a pass, but going through the whoops, Cooper Webb actually made a little bit of a mistake, and Marvin Musquin was trying to capitalize on it. But he just hit Cooper Webb just right, and it just kind of knocked him off balance, and he actually lost a lot of time and almost got passed by Baggett. Yep. But it actually helped Cooper Webb out because he was just able to, extend his lead out a little bit, and just I think he went from 1 second to pretty much 2 seconds, maybe a little bit more for the rest of this race. And that's pretty much how it went with that. We did see Aaron Plessinger. He also fell victim to the sand. And he only fell 1 position, I think. So really good ride for him. His best of the rookie season so far, too. Chad Reed, as we said, was kind of up there. He was in 11th. He dropped back to 13th. I forget exactly what happened to him. But
do we stop calling him Legend Chad Reed after top 10? Like when he's outside the top 10?
Yeah. No, he's always a legend. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to call him Legend. They should just change his name and the results to Legend Chad Reed, so we can stop messing it up.
With the emoji with the hands open, like oh.
Exactly. He needs his own emoji for sure. A good legend emoji, maybe like I don't know, like how they have like the Heisman Trophy for like college football.
Yeah.
We need like just the Chad Reed.
Well, he's gonna get something when he retires, if he ever retires, because he's been breaking records this whole season. He's gonna
get a statue.
Yeah. He's got the most starts out of everyone. He's got the most podiums out of everyone. He's got, or not the most podiums. I think he's like fourth. He's got the most.
I think he might have the most podiums. I think so. He's got like 133 or something.
Yeah, maybe it's wins that I'm thinking about that he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's
he
in
is
fourth
behind
place.
in the wins.
Yeah, but everything else, he's right there. He's beat everyone. So Legend Chad Reed, please, from here on out.
Exactly. Yeah, Legend Chad Reed. I'm sorry, Mr. Reed. Sorry, Mr. Legend. So yeah, Cooper Webb won this race. Blake Baggett was able to pass Marvin Musquin and get that second place. Marvin Musquin got third. Ken Roxon ended up getting fourth. Aaron Plessinger got fifth. And I got to tell you, bro, whenever we did our picks for the race, I had Cooper Webb getting first, Marvin Musquin getting third, Ken Roxon getting fourth. So I got 3 out of the 5. Blake Baggett, I had him getting fifth, and he got second, so he messed me up twice. But I killed it. Not to brag, but
you definitely did.
I did awesome.
No, you definitely did. You definitely did, and that's one of the things we were talking about on the way down.
Yeah, so Aaron Plessinger got 5th. Eli Tomac was able to catch up to 6th. Justin Brayton 7th. Dean Wilson 8th. Joey Savacci 9th. Cole Seeley 10th. Justin Hill 11th. Tyler Bowers 12th. Chad Reed, Legend Chad Reed 13th. Justin Bogle 14th. Cedric Subers 15th. Michael Lessie 16th. Kyle Chisholm 17th. Ben LeMay 18th. Alex Ray 19th. Cole Martinez 20th. Jared Lesher 21st. Zach Osborne 22nd. It was an awesome race. I also loved the podium whenever Cooper Webb told his little story about how he did the KTM Junior Challenge race in the Georgia Dome way years ago, and he got 6th place, and now he's winning that race, and he'd come to that race every year because it's like the closest one to North Carolina where he grew up, and he was just like, you could tell it was pretty a big moment for him to win that race, and he had a bunch of family and friends and stuff there, so that was cool.
Yeah, well, you can only imagine how, I don't think he's having the year that he ever thought he would this year, at least.
He's killing it. And we're going to get to that points in a second. But one other thing about the podium that I wanted to say was that Blake Baggett, when he was up there, he said he is not a fan of sand at Supercross races. So I thought that was kind of a big statement. Not a fan of the sand. I like the sand. That's
kind of sucky for him because we have Daytona this weekend, and
yeah, it's all sand. That's all it is.
Has sand, has dirt, it has all types of things out there. We have clay, sand, some black dirt. So yeah.
Cooper Webb still your points leader with 199 points. Ken Roxon in second with 186. Marvin Musquin in third with 182. Eli Tomac in fourth place with 177. And then Blake Baggett, 5th place with 142. So those top, 4 guys are really starting to pull a big gap on everyone else.
Well, they have been for the last couple of races, but Cooper Webb is really pulling away with it. And unless he gets hurt, man, I don't see anybody else getting the championship because he's up there. He's almost, 20 points up now?
Yep, he is 13 points up on Ken Roxon.
There you go.
It'll be exciting to see what happens in Daytona. Tune in for our next episode where we preview this Daytona race. And then we'll see you guys later. Follow us at MXSX Podcast. Peace.